Today our topic is the role of self-control in Stoicism. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life, even when things are difficult. One of the most important ideas in Stoicism is self-control. Self-control means being able to manage your emotions, thoughts, and actions in a way that helps you stay calm and focused, no matter what happens around you. The Stoics believe that self-control is the key to finding peace and happiness in life. Let me explain why self-control is so important in Stoicism and how you can practice it in your own life. First, let's talk about why self-control is so central to Stoicism. The Stoics believe that the world is full of things we cannot control. For example, we cannot control the weather, what other people say or do, or even many of the events that happen in our lives. However, the Stoics also believe that we do have control over one thing, our own mind. This is where self-control comes in. By learning to control our thoughts, emotions, and reactions, we can find a sense of inner peace even when the world around us is chaotic. The Stoics called this inner freedom. It means that no matter what happens outside of us, we can always choose how we respond. To understand this better, let's look at an example. Imagine you are stuck in traffic. You might feel frustrated, angry, or stressed because you are late for an important meeting. These feelings are natural, but the Stoics would say that you have a choice. You can either let your emotions take over and make the situation worse, or you can practice self-control and choose a calmer, more rational response. For instance, you could remind yourself that being stuck in traffic is not something you can control, so getting upset won't help. Instead, you could use the time to listen to music, think about your goals, or simply take a deep breath and relax. By practicing self-control in this way, you turn a stressful situation into an opportunity for growth. This example shows how self-control can help us deal with everyday challenges. But the Stoics believe that self-control is also important for facing bigger problems, like illness, loss, or failure. They taught that life will always have ups and downs, and we cannot avoid suffering completely. However, by practicing self-control, we can learn to endure suffering with dignity and strength. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This means that even in the most difficult situations, we have the power to choose our attitude and response. Self-control gives us this power. Now, let's talk about how you can practice self-control in your own life. The Stoics believe that self-control is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Here are some practical tips to help you build your self-control, inspired by Stoic philosophy. First, start small. Self-control doesn't mean you have to change your entire life overnight. Instead, focus on small, manageable habits. For example, if you want to improve your self-control with food, try eating one less cookie or choosing a healthier snack once a day. If you want to improve your self-control with your emotions, try pausing for a few seconds before reacting when someone upsets you. These small steps might seem simple, but they can make a big difference over time. Second, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness means paying attention to the present moment without judgment. The Stoics believe that mindfulness is essential for self-control because it helps us become aware of our thoughts and emotions before they take over. For example, if you feel angry, instead of immediately lashing out, take a moment to notice what you are feeling and why. This awareness gives you the space to choose a better response. Third, remind yourself of what you can and cannot control. The Stoics call this the dichotomy of control. Make a list of the things in your life that are within your control, like your thoughts, actions, and attitudes, and the things that are not, like other people's opinions, the past, or the weather. When you face a challenge, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, try to let it go and focus on what you can control instead. Fourth, practice gratitude. Gratitude helps us appreciate what we have instead of always wanting more. The Stoics believe that wanting too much can weaken our self-control because it makes us feel like we are never satisfied. To practice gratitude, take a few minutes each day to think about the things you are thankful for, no matter how small. This could be your health, your family, or even a beautiful sunset. By focusing on what you already have, you can strengthen your self-control and find more contentment in life. Fifth, prepare for challenges. The Stoics practice something called negative visualization, which means imagining the worst-case scenario in advance. This might sound depressing, but it's actually a powerful tool for building self-control. By imagining how you would handle difficult situations, you can prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. For example, if you are worried about losing your job, imagine what you would do if it happened. How would you cope? What steps would you take to find a new job? By thinking about these questions in advance, you can reduce your fear and feel more in control. Finally, be patient with yourself. Building self-control takes time and effort, and it's normal to make mistakes along the way. The Stoics believe that failure is not something to be ashamed of, but an opportunity to learn and grow. If you lose your temper or give in to temptation, don't beat yourself up. Instead, reflect on what happened and think about how you can do better next time. Remember, self-control is a journey, not a destination. In conclusion, self-control is one of the most important ideas in Stoicism because it gives us the power to choose how we respond to life's challenges. By practicing self-control, we can find inner peace, even in difficult situations. Start small. Practice mindfulness. Focus on what you can control. Practice gratitude. Prepare for challenges and be patient with yourself. These steps can help you build your self-control and live a more stoic life. Remember, the goal of Stoicism is not to avoid emotions or become emotionless, but to manage your emotions in a way that helps you live with wisdom, courage, and peace. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." By practicing self-control, you can become the master of your own mind and find true freedom in life.